Crazy. That bitch is crazy. I can't live with pain anymore. And we're live. Yes, did I just say we can't? We're live. We are live. We are live here at LASC. What does it mean to me, LA School of Comedy? My name is Sunda Kronquist, and I'm your host this evening. We have a great open mic. We always have a great open mic here. It's Manic Monday. I thought it was Wacky Wednesday, and my husband turned around and said, "Now you don't know what day of the week it is?" Because he's trying to put me away. My mother warned me. She said, if you marry a Jew, they take care of you, but then they declare you insane, and then they have you institutionalized. So that's what I learned. So hopefully that doesn't come off as anti-Semitic, because I have enough shit going on in my life. Okay, guys? I didn't mean it bad. I don't mean to brag. I don't mean to boast, but I'm dying for some breakfast toast. This Passover thing. Let me just tell you something. I put on a pair of pants today that should not be fitting me, so I know that Passover works. That's the only diet you should be doing. If you're thinking of doing podcasting, this is the great place. If you have kids in comedy, we just had 2 kids up here that were really funny, but we shooed them away because we didn't want to show all our talent off like that. And I want to give a round of applause to your comedy concierge, the one and only amazing Samantha Linderman. Yes, without you, nobody would open the doors. And without you, Jason, nobody would see the show. Give it up for Jason Ham. Ham I am. And it's quiet tonight because I heard everybody ran out of UCLA today. Did you hear that? There was a walkout. I just thought they were going to lunch. I had no idea. I didn't know the difference. Is that terrible that you could be so self-absorbed in your own world that you don't know? I was in a parking lot. They told me, I said, where's the parking? They said, it's outside of the office. This is a doctor's office. So I go online for this parking lot, and I'm online. And it's an In-N-Out Burger parking lot that they sent me to. So the doctor says, next time, try Sprouts. Why didn't I think of that? I had to go up 2 flights of stairs. This is the rehab facility. I said, is this where the rehab begins? And he said, why didn't you take the elevator? It was on the other side, but nobody told me. I don't know why I'm sharing all this with you, because I woke up too damn early. That's why. That's what it was. I woke up too early. I thought, you ever wake up and think, you know what? I'm going to go back to sleep. And then you're like, I can't go back to sleep. I can't. I can watch that OJ show again. Listen, guys, I'm sorry. I'm that kid, okay? I'm the kid that knew O.J. Simpson running through the Hertz commercials. I did not know that man could play football like that. I keep watching him play. Did you ever see him play? Did you see those clips? Did you ever see anybody run like that? No. In your life? And the only other fast runner was Bruce Jenner, now Kylie. Not Kylie, Kendall. What's her name? The mother, Caitlyn. Caitlyn, who's phenomenal. And by the way, I worked with Bruce. And I know I say this all the time. I can't get over saying it because I just can't. You just want to touch him. He was just so perfect. And we had to drive in this Mustang going like this through New Jersey in the Meadowlands. And we were with Bruce Jenner. And I don't have any pictures of it. But he didn't look like that, but he had nice legs. I remember thinking that. I remember thinking, what a pretty face. You know what I mean? You ever look at a man and just want to do their face? Like, Jason, if you didn't have a mustache, I would do something with your lashes and I would have you out. Are you kidding me? I would beat that face. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I know who wants to beat my face. But I want to bring up I have a little introduction because sometimes we have a really good time when we learn things from other people, and comedy is also information. And this gentleman coming to the stage has lots of information. Let's give it up for the comedy, the words of the wordsmith himself, Mr. Mark Zaffron, America's Sweetheart. Yeah. Come on, Pop.
Walking up there, I feel like Corn Pop. Anybody ever wonder what Corn Pop looked like, really? Just curious. Did he have dreads? You know? Corn Pop. You don't know who Corn Pop was? Joe Biden's imaginary black friend. It was like Moffus. He had an imaginary black friend. He made him up. You know, you don't know that? Wow, you know, it's amazing. Kids today, they have no sense of irony. So Jerry Seinfeld got on the air today and said that the leftists are ruining good comedy. It wasn't just the leftists. Comedy club owners didn't help either. You know, I remember when Jamie Masada got all shocked when Michael Richards said something racist on screen in the show, and he started banning dirty comedy and everything. What made him think that Michael Richards was sane? How did he miss the signs? Then I realized it's because he ain't sane either. You see, this is what's happened in this country today. Insane people are judging whether people are sane. It's kind of scary. So I think, well, the scariest thing is I spent a couple of years on Sunday's television show, spending some time, having a good time, making fun of the worst president ever, James Earl Carter. And now, to my shock and dismay, they're now saying on television that Joe Biden is worse. The fact that he is true, but he's ruined all my tapes. I mean, can I really put those tapes out? Can I put that footage? I'm showing my age, tapes. Can I really put that footage out with me saying that Jimmy Carter was the worst president ever? But a lot of things I said were true, though. I mean, when they've come true, like Great Britain is one of the most anti-Semitic countries on earth. And I predicted everything that's happening today. It's funny. It's true. Yeah, it's true. You know why it's all happening today? After World War II, the geniuses in Britain and the United States, all the so-called Western intellectuals, especially the French who surrendered on demand, they decided that nationalism was bad. Now, America has had its guilt, I will say, with regard to colonialism. But when we said we were freeing the Filipino people, we did. And the result was, in World War II, the Filipinos didn't turn on us. They turned on the Japanese. No surprise, the Japanese were not great colonialists. When we took over Cuba, we said we give it back. We did. Granted, we gave it back to some criminal murderers like Batista, but the bottom line is we did give it back. Those were Cubans, all right? The fact that we let the mafia in to run the place for a while, listen, c'est la vie. You know, when you get down to it, you know, America wasn't big on colonialism. We did keep Hawaii, but where would the Persians go for Christmas? I mean, think about it. You know, Puerto Rico, 50-50. You know, it's up to them. You know, but usually they kind of weigh in. Once they realize what the cost is of breaking away, they say, no, we'll stay where we are. They don't even want to be a state, because then they have to start paying some taxes that they don't like paying. Right now, they got a pretty good system. So as colonialists go, the only big thing that we did was we killed the Indians. Okay. I'm saying we killed the Indians. We drove them off their land. We killed them. But the stories about the smallpox blankets, that wasn't us. That was the English. And the Spanish were worse. So what do we really get down to? Back to my original point. After World War II, they all decided that nation-states had no right to exist. They all wanted nationalism. And now what's nationalism look like to a European? This is it. They want some bureaucrat in The Hague, unelected, chosen by various groups of people who are discontented to tell them how to live their lives. That's what they like. That's why Europe's such a mess, at least that part of Europe. Why any nation in Eastern Europe would want to join the common market is beyond me. The Hungarians won't join the common market because they know they'll tell them what to do. Now all of a sudden, it's just, isn't everybody tired of being told that they're wrong? Now, I live with 3 women. I'm told that I'm wrong all the time. But at this point, you just get tired of it. Everything we do can't be wrong, you know? It's not all wrong, you know? You can't always be in the doghouse. Now, of course, now, poor Mark, I really wish that I was hosting the Correspondents' Dinner. It would have been fun, wouldn't it? Can you imagine what I would have had to say about Joe Biden? And what's his name, Colin Jost? Jost? He's German, right? Jost? All right. What fascinates me is the man has a Jewish wife. I mean, what's up with you? You're supporting this man? All right. So it comes down to this. I spend the day watching the Columbia University protests. And, of course, you see the signs, kill the Jews. Oh, excuse me. They don't say kill the Jews. It's from the river to the sea, Palestine must be free, or the final solution. But there was one guy one leader got up and said, kill the Zionists. Code word, I mean, there aren't that many non-Jewish Zionists, let's face it, and almost all the people in Israel are Zionists. So it basically means kill all the Jews. I mean, find the code words. See, here's my point. You went out, you had a nice protest, you had fun. George Soros said that you can keep the tents, you don't have to return them after you're done. You can go camping somewhere. Oh, there's no toilet paper. But at the end of the day, you got to take your medicine. You don't have to be beat up by the police. You don't have to have anything done to you. You can all stand there till next week when it's going to be 80 degrees and you get really good and hot and then it rains. All right? But you have to take your suspensions. You have to take your medicine. You violated this college's rules, and had I done it, I would have got my ass whooped. All right? We all would in my day. Take your suspension and take the fact that you're never getting a job. Every law firm I know has signed the pledge that none of those kids are getting jobs. All right? But not just the kids who protested. They're not part of the pledge. They had to actually actively say something racially or anti-Semitically oriented on social media to be put on the list. Except for a couple of hedge fund managers who have decided never to hire from Harvard again. Now, this is my problem. Kid goes to Yale, and he expects that he is already part of the ruling class. These kids at Columbia, Yale, Harvard, Princeton, University of Pennsylvania, Cornell, they believe they got into these schools and they now have their ticket to the ruling class. They expect when they get out, they're never going to work a day in their lives. Why? Well, the lawyers are going to have to work. I mean, we work them to death. But the other ones, the ones that took political science, they're going to go work for AOC. Have you ever heard of a congressional staffer actually working for a living? Because congressmen certainly don't work for a living. So they all expected this easy glide path. Oh, yeah, we're going to have a nice weekend. We're not going to have to take final exams. All these professors are going to give us amnesty. There's nothing wrong with this. And then the stark reality of being a barista for the rest of their life will hit them right there when some crazy woman yells at them that they didn't put the right sugar in. And on that note, 2 more minutes? 2 more minutes of ranting and raving? I love the ranting and raving. I didn't give anybody a historical lesson today because the historical lesson that's been in my mind can get me in big trouble. Big trouble. It kind of is a matter of counting time, and I did it for somebody the other day. And it comes down to this. My problem with everything that's gone on today is very simple. My problem with migrants at the border, my problem with Gaza, my problem is very simple. Everyone who yells what they want, not a single one of them has come forward with a rational, intelligent plan for what happens next. So we let all these people in across the border, but what I didn't see is that Joe is denying it. Kamala was laughing about it, right? We can build a friggin' floating harbor in Gaza, but we can't set up a point of entry for these people. I don't get it. There were no Doctors Without Borders willing to go down there and make sure they weren't coming in with communicable diseases. There was nobody down there to give them all the shots they didn't get in Venezuela. I don't understand. The richest country on earth, well, we used to be, we didn't have a plan. That is a sign of the deterioration of the American mind. I don't mind them coming across. My great-grandparents came across. They had to stand there and be insulted at Ellis Island with everybody else. And if they had tuberculosis, they put them in a ward. So there's number one. Number two, look what's happening in the world. What's the plan for after the war in Gaza? Nobody has a plan. Everybody just says that they want to win. What are they winning? Tom Kratman wrote a book. They want to make a desert and call it victory. What would have really been done had it been done? You want people to divest from it? You want Columbia University to divest from Israel? Like they actually invest in Israel? How about telling them, why don't you invest in Gaza? You don't hear that coming out of their mouths. Invest, not divest. I'm going to get up in front of a Columbia Library with a sign that says, invest, don't divest. Invest, don't divest. Good night. Excuse me?
It's on the beach.
Oh, yeah. I could put some incredible hotels there.
It's so beautiful. Thank you, Mark. Without you, I wouldn't have a history lesson. Today he asked me, who is the president after Dwight Eisenhower? And I was like, I wasn't born, and that doesn't count. And he was like, you don't know? And I was like, Nixon? I don't know. Kennedy? What's going on? Some water? Oh, well, thank you. You need it? I thought I'd bring you up for a few minutes because...
I'm okay, thank you.
Okay, well, that's really great to know that. Are you going to wait? Okay. Hey, how are we doing tonight? Right? We had a history lesson today. I fail and I was a history major and I switched to criminal justice. Isn't that crazy? But the guys were, it was funny because my cousin said, the only reason why I like history is because it's just gossip. And I never thought of it that way. But that means you're a gossip maven, Mark.
I'm a good one, though.
And what am I? Chopped liver? I want chopped liver. I'm starving. It's still Passover, but that's okay, because never mind, it's enough about us. Let's give it up for the comedy of the one and only Craig Bruss. Let him hear you. I'm going to get this.
Where's the red jacket?
Taking a nap.
I was thinking that one was reversible.
So when the white light comes on, you have 2 minutes.
I always have this connection with portal potties. This goes way back to 2005 when I worked at the Hollywood Gym and I had the worst gas flatulence. And of course, years later, I found out it was due to a bacterial overgrowth in my intestines. But when I was working at the front desk, the custodian was cleaning the floor and he told me I smelled like a portal potty. You smell like porta potty. The other connection is back in late 2014, and that was I didn't have a car for like 4 years, so all my auditions were like by bus, trains, walking, running, skipping, hopping, you name it. But I lived in Rancho Palos Verdes. It's like 30 minutes south of LAX. And we were all the way at the peninsula, at the ocean, between San Pedro and Redondo and Hermoso Beach. So I got called one night to go to Laurel Canyon Studios to get there to the next morning. So in order to get there the next early morning, I had to leave the night before. So I left at 7:30 p.m. the night before, and I took 3 buses and a train to Studio City, and I walked up Laurel Canyon 4.5 hours. Then it started to rain really hard. And at the right time, at the right place and right time, I ran into a large blue handicap porta potty. It was unlocked. I seeked shelter. It wasn't bad. It was clean. It was decent smell. There was a couple deuces in there, but hey, it was like a housekeeper went in there during the day and cleaned it up for my stay. Instead of staying at a motel or a hotel, I stayed in a porta potty. So I spent a few hours going over my script and movie lines, and then I slept on the floor a little bit, and I made it to Laurel Canyon Studios an hour before call time, filmed 14 hours, and then walked back down Laurel Canyon, and some kids in a car started throwing eggs at my face. I was like, you bastards! I'll get you damn kids for this. You're all gonna die! No. But the big connection with the porta potty is in the year 2000. The year 2000. We made it past the Y2K. Remember that? New Year's Eve, 1999, and like everybody's freaking out because the world was supposed to end, and somehow something with the computers weren't programmed to update to the 21st century, something like that. So everyone's freaking out, buying batteries, flashlights, canned foods, and all that. But came midnight, everything was good, no power shut off. But late that summer, I drove to Oshkosh, Wisconsin with some friends from comedy from Milwaukee. And it was a big overnight camp-out party at a campsite. And somebody handed me a little small square piece of paper to put on my tongue and let it dissolve. It had some green substance on it called acid. It's a potent hallucinogenic. And I didn't feel anything, so he gave me another one. So I ended up taking 2 hits of acid. And on top of that, I had severe anxiety. So I was like, my heart started pumping, like, and the sky started flashing, and then the stars were on fire. They were flying at my face, and all these little bunny rabbits kept running around like lightning speed. It was like, zzz, 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 zzz. And all these guys kept peeing on this large rock as if it were the Blarney Stone in Ireland. In Ireland, this Blarney Stone at the Blarney Castle, it's like 5 miles from Cork, Ireland, something like that. But it's like supposed to be, if you kiss it, the Blarney Stone is supposed to be like good luck and love and make you all flattery and cool. But I was told that a lot of tourists pee on it. So I would suggest if you go to Ireland, you may not want to kiss it. But this big rock, I even peed on it. But I was looking at the cornfield, and all these shadowy figures kept walking out of it. All of this cornfield, and it was like, I never seen this movie, but it's like an 80s horror cult classic called Children of the Corn. Now, it's like by Stephen King. You know Stephen King. So it's like if you're over 18 and you go to this town, it's like these if you're over 18, you get killed. You're supposed to get killed or something. But it was like that. And then right above the cornfield, there was like Dr. Seuss and Whoville. And it kept walking up and down this hill, up and down, up and down, up and down. And I got lost. I started panicking. I was worried. I was so scared I was going to be in this paranoid, hallucinating state forever, like just like that. And I got lost. I was like, where am I? And I was freaking out. And these people were reaching out for me, grabbing me, and these ladies were like, "Hey, want to party with us?" They sounded like I don't know if you ever seen this, like a 80s horror TV show on HBO called Tales from the Crypt. These ladies sounded just like that skeleton crypt keeper. It's like, "Hey, want to party with us, ghouls? Craig Brush just wanted to come to the camp party. But instead he ended up on a really bad trip and hacked up in the cornfield." It was like that. And I felt like Kevin McAllister from Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. I felt like a 10-year-old little crybaby. I was like, "Oh God, where am I? I gotta find my place. I gotta find the campsite. Watch it, kid. Hey, want a piece of candy? It's been in my pocket." And I'm a visual person, okay? So I'm looking for a landmark, and I was like, porta potty. The porta potty was near the campsite where I was at. Find the porta potty. So I look, there it is. And it was beautiful. It was like this big blue shiny porta potty. And I was singing. It was like, So I made it back to the campsite, got lost a couple times. Every time I got lost, find the porta potty. Look for the porta potty. Got it. Okay, cool. Made it back to my dad's house the next afternoon, and my brain felt like mush. I felt like this 80s movie cult classic called Killer Clowns from Outer Space. They come down to Earth. There it is. They come down to Earth. They can shoot someone with a ray gun, and they turn into this ball of cotton candy cocoon, and they stick a large straw in it, and they suck the blood out of it. That's what it felt like with my brain. So I literally felt stupid for a couple days, and I was emotional. I was like, "God, please don't let me be in this state forever. I want to, please help me. I'll never take that stuff ever again." And my dad came home. He came downstairs to my bedroom. He's like, Craig, you all right? I was worried about you. I'm like, I'm okay, Dad. And at that time, I was like, "Come on, Craig, let's focus. You're a black belt, for God's sakes. Act like it." So I grabbed a 45-pound barbell and doing, bicep curls. And in my underwear, my dad came down, and he was asking where I was. I said I was at a camp party. He said, "Just let me know where you are, Craig." He's like, "Craig, thanks for the birthday card." I'm like, "Hey, Dad, how about a hug? Maybe if you put some clothes on." I need a beer. My name is Craig Bruss. Please watch the first 2 movies I wrote, directed, produced, and starred in, called The Matchstick Flame and The Matchstick Flame 2, Lanada Bay. Also available on Amazon Prime. They're mob boss Hollywood crime thrillers with a little comedy in it. I also have a part in a big movie called Sweetwater. It's about Nat Sweetwater Clifton. He was the first African American to be drafted to play in the NBA in 1950. He changed the game and he broke down all racial barriers. Great movie. I read the script, made me cry. It's a great movie. Check it out on multiple streaming services. And check me out on Facebook, Craig Bruss, the Matchstick Flame movie pages, Instagram, and Twitter at the Matchstick Flame 123. You've been a great audience. Love y'all.
Oh, God, I don't know where you get your energy from, but I can sure use some of that. Oh, will you give me a hand? Make me laugh. Give it up for the comedy of Nick Hanrahan. Nicky boy.
Yeah, you gotta remind yourself when you take acid, like, I'm on drugs. Oh, shit. You remember you took drugs. All right. It's good to be here. I work from home, so it's hard to get outside. I realized it's been like opening Pandora's box for me lately, where I realized I need to actually like get outside. Like a year ago, I was okay just fucking staying inside. I'm a software engineer, code all day, play video games. I'm good. Now I'm like, oh, fucking gotta get outside. But I mean, think about it. DoorDash, water from the fridge, Amazon Prime. You don't need anything else, but you actually do, apparently. So, yeah, I have been trying to get outside more, because when you work from home, you realize certain things are changing about yourself. Anyone work from home here? Anyone? I'm the only fucking... Okay, gotcha, yeah. Yeah. I work from home. What was I saying? Work from home?
He said, is anybody else? Start to notice things.
Oh, right, okay.
Nothing about dementia.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so listen to this dumbass interaction I had at Starbucks the other day. I was going to Starbucks with some friends. I'm the only one who wanted a drink. So I walk in, registers are down. I ask, hey, how do I order? They say, you have to download the app. I don't have the app. So I just tell them, hey, no, I'll go home. And so I don't know why I said that, but I go outside. I ask my friends, like, hey, the registers are down. And then one of my friends, of course, has the app. And so I order through their phone. And then they also want waters. So now I go back inside, ask the workers, hey, could I get 3 waters? She gives me the waters. And then I feel compelled to tell her, hey, I ordered online. And so... And she's looking at me like, I don't give a shit. Like, and I'm looking back at her like, okay, yeah, I don't know why I just told you that. But, yeah, I go outside, and then finally our drinks come. 5 minutes later, I go back inside and then grab the drinks. She asks, do you want a straw? I go back outside. Or I tell them, no, I don't need a straw. My friend asks, hey, do you need can you get me some straws? So I just sent his ass in there. I don't want to, like, put these poor Starbucks workers through any more nonsense. Yeah, the app is supposed to make things faster, but they don't account for people like me who fuck shit up. My friend was telling me, you need to stop making statements of commitment to these workers. I don't know why I'm telling these workers. I won't fucking download the app. I ordered online. So, yeah. Okay, I love ruining a good time for specific people. Just like if I find out like you're a piece of shit, like weeks later I have to do something about it. This one girl was like bragging to me once about like how she would like cheat on her boyfriend. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so crazy. Aren't I so wacky and crazy? So then weeks later I go to a bar and I see her dancing, and I'm like, okay, now's a good time. So I'm like, oh my God, hey, good to see you. Hey, how would your boyfriend feel about all the cheating? Sorry about that. Yeah, so I need to go outside more because that behavior is not okay. Yeah. Yeah, I've been playing this game called Real Life Tinder, where I go up to you, hello, how are you doing? Put the phone down. I think you're hot. And it doesn't go well, but I feel good for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's like I think the dating apps are dumb. Like, I feel like it dissociates you from the rejection that you're supposed to feel. So, like the first girl I asked out was in middle school, and she was, I was 14. I was like, we're best friends. She's a girl, I'm a guy. Of course this was meant to be. And so my move was I was going to wait for the end of the dance, the middle school dance to happen. And then she was like a organizer for the dance, so she's like cleaning up, and I was like going to ask her then. So I asked her like, hey, will you be my girlfriend? She says no. And I'm okay, guys, but the next day I brought my gun to school. No, I'm just kidding. No, I was kidding. That's awful. Don't do that. I'm glad those kids are gone. All right. I have a baby face, which sucks because I also like older women, and so everyone was telling me growing up, like, hey, like, you'll appreciate it when you're older. Well, I'm fucking older now, and it's the same problem. So, okay. I'll end with this. So my brother is a licensed therapist in the state of Colorado, and he was a fucking asshole. And so, like, I actually can't believe it. For like drug addicts too. He works at a rehab center. So it's super heavy job. And so he was like a frat, like such a dickhead frat bro growing up. And I hated him. And here's my impression of my brother in a psychotherapy session. Damn, your life fucking sucks, bro. Damn, dude, my life's fucking great. Get off that shit if you want to be like me. All right, I could work on that one. But yeah, my name's Nick. Thank you guys. It's good to be here again. You can find me online at Nick the Hanrahan on Instagram. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Nick the Hanrahan. The Hanrahan I am. Don't worry, Jason, your turn's coming up here. We're gonna get you to be funny. Not tonight, don't worry about it. He's like, you better leave me alone. All right, we got some comedy coming up here from the East Coast. Oh yeah, well, you're gonna see the comedy of the one and only Cici. Cici Teza.
I love your shoes. They're so cool. I love it.
I love them.
Oh, they're amazing. So I don't know who was here when I was talking about that girl that I couldn't tell whether she was like a friend or not. So we had the plans, right? It was a picnic in Griffith Park, which sounds pretty kind of gay, right? But I don't think that's the vibe. I'm like 99.9% sure that she's straight, which is like so sad. But you know what? Like, I'll either just like write some King Princess songs, make her like fall in love with me, or I'll teach her like real friendship is. So either way, it's like a win-win. You know what I mean? I went to the Ren Fair recently. Has anyone here been to the Ren Fair, Renaissance Fair? No. If you like boobies, great place to go. Tits are out there. All right, the corsets is crazy over there. It's wild. Just a heads up though, it doesn't take you to like the 1800s, because I was going into it thinking like, oh my, it's gonna be the 1800s. It was like LA still. Yeah, but one thing I would suggest if you go there is maybe to not go to Target in the outfits that you're wearing to the Renaissance Fair, right? So like a flowing cape in Target, a really intense corset. It's a little, you stick out a little bit. Everyone's looking at you and they're like, what is going on? Oh my God. I feel like the people who really like the Ren Fair, like, fuck, you know what I mean? Like I feel, like the people who like LARP, like they're fucking, I feel like, because like they got the costumes there. Do you guys know what that is? It's live action. I don't think it's live action role play. So you're like playing a game, but in real life. Yeah. Anyway, but that's LARPing, and I feel like they're, they got it. But this isn't related at all. But has anyone watched Wife Swap? Wife Swap. Such a good show. I'm back on the Wife Swap train. I really love it. I will say when I was younger, though, I was probably 8 or 9, I did sign my parents up for that one. Along with Extreme Home Makeover, along with Extreme Wardrobe Makeover, which that one was kind of mean. But the other two, I feel like even at 8 or 9, you know what I mean? I was low-key smart for what I was doing. Like, I knew. Have any of you seen, though, I really wanted Extreme Home Makeover to work, but my dad was not having that. But I think it's the funniest thing in those shows when the kid says one thing about something they like. They'll be like, oh, I like basketball. And then suddenly the whole entire room is that one theme, right? So it's like a basketball bed. It's pictures of LeBron everywhere. There's 5 hoops in the room. And the kid gets in and they kind of have to act like they like it, but they don't really like basketball that much, I don't know if you guys have ever seen also when someone doesn't like what Extreme Makeover, they give their house. That is wild. I would suggest watching that. It's super fun. But the other night, I went to Barney's Beanery. Does anyone here know that? It's in WeHo. And they say that the gays have a gay agenda, right? And we're taking over. But let me tell you something. The straights took over Barney's Beanery, okay? Because the hottest gay people were there. The most beautiful, fun gay environment. I was so excited. And I walk in, and it's frat boys and finance. You know what I mean? What? I think they heard there was hot bi girls, and then they swarmed. So they took our Barney's Beanery, but we took a shared Uber back home, and there's nothing so humbling as getting into a shared Uber that already has 2 other people in it, right? And they're not even together, so we're going 3 different places, and then on top of that, sitting in the middle. Really humbling. And then on top of that, having your Uber driver wearing a fedora and being anti-vax, it makes you really question some things. Maybe I shouldn't be here right now. I gotta get my life together. But yeah, you ever make a meal and you're like, hey, maybe everything is going to be okay, because you just make it well and you're so proud of yourself. You get a gold medal. I made Spam fried rice, guys, and I've been living off that high for 2 days. I'm an adult. I can do this stuff. I do think I'm allergic to rice, though, so, I have still been eating it, but I don't feel super well. I painted my dog's ears, my dog Buttons, but I accidentally painted them pink, blue, and purple, which is the colors of the trans flag, I think. So I do think I made my dog trans by accident. So now instead of Buttons, she goes by Zippers. I don't know if that's okay to say. I think it's okay, but I feel like so there's elitism when it comes to pasta. You know what I mean? There's kind of pasta racism. Because some people really like certain pastas and they don't like other pastas, which is okay because it's pasta. But me personally, I love the wheel-shaped pastas. That is a fun time no matter what you're doing. That's a good one. Penne is my least favorite. That one pisses me off. The swirl's probably my second favorite. The little shells, not a fan of them. Angel hair's good, but really, fuck the penne pasta, am I right? But the wheels, guys, if you make anything with the wheels, you're going for it. My check engine light is on. It has been on for quite a while. So I went to AutoZone to take care of that. But in AutoZone, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but they have little hats that are the Chevrolet hats and the Ford hats and the Toyota hats. Maybe not Toyota. It was sexy. It was Chevrolet and Ford, and they were really cute. They were trucker hats that I would see at Buffalo Exchange or something. They were super adorable, and I was like, this is the way to get more Gen Z people in here, is just to have a bunch of cute Ford clothes, that look so rugged. It was really great. I think they get more business that way. And anyone know Theo Vaughn, the amazing comedian? I'm in love with him. I love him so much. Oh my God, I love him so much. It's so funny to watch his things where he's holding back some really insane comments that he can't say in that room. He's the best ever. And then this is my last thought, and this isn't really a funny thing, but it's more so I've just been thinking this. you know how people say that like you're gonna like miss, like there's only like a once in a lifetime opportunity, you know, and like you could miss it. Fuck that, okay? I don't think you can. I think there's like a million once in a lifetime opportunities, and you're gonna get the one that you're supposed to get. And if you don't get that one, then you're gonna get another one that you're supposed to get. You know what I mean? Like we're all on trains going to a certain station, and even if we miss one train, there's another train coming, you know? And so yeah, just tell myself that to not worry. So if anyone else needs to hear that, you can find me on Instagram at Treza with 4 H's at the end. So thank you. Yeah, I changed it to that.
Yeah, make sure I follow you.
Oh, I do.
I do? Yeah, of course. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God, that was a nice way to close, right? Optimistic. That's what I've been watching stuff on. What's it called? Mindfulness. With this Persian lady. I don't know why I'm listening to her, and I know. And she's like, you know, they're trying to say things being mean to me because I do not speak English, but I am open to them because I'm spiritual. But I like the whole thing. You know, she says instead of saying you're anxious, just say I have to figure out and do exactly what I have to do. So I was trying to be mindful today. And then my husband called. That's all I want to say, okay? And he goes, take out these 2 credit cards. And then a producer called. And the producer says to me, well, I have to catch a plane. And I go, okay, Mark, I'll call you back. He goes, no. And then I lost the cards. But like for hours, right? When you called, hours. And I had to go to Encino. The doctor said, how are you? I said, I lost my credit cards for hours. He said, I thought you were bringing your husband with you. I said, he's not coming. I can't get him to go to the doctor. Why are men like that? Yeah. You have to go to that doctor. Well, you got to go to that doctor. All you men got to go to that doctor. Mm-hmm.
Last time I was there, it gave me my wife's chart. It said, you put on 200 pounds. I said, listen, I know I put on a few.
I switched. Listen, stop that. I gave you my spot. And the secretary gave him the chart. And it was my weight. Mark, he said he put on 200 pounds. And Mark said, I put on a little bit. Put on 200 pounds. I said, oh my God. That's what I'm saying, it was 200 pounds. My back. All right, listen, let's bring up the lady that makes us laugh all the time, even when it's a crazy day. The one, the only comedy concierge of America, Samantha Lindemann. Yes.
Thank you so much, Sunda. And everybody tonight, give it up for yourselves for coming out here.
Yes.
I went to my local coffee shop, and it's owned by an Australian family. I don't know why that's notable. I don't know. I was like, how did all of these Australians meet each other and work together? But they made it. No. Okay, I just came up with that. Okay, that was pretty good. I made it. It was a good time, mate, because I made it. But I see this flyer for a comedy show, and I know the guy in the show, so I'm like, I'm gonna message him. And then somebody taps me on my shoulder, like I feel a short male presence behind me, and then it was a comedian. And no, I'm sorry. But I was like, what's going on? I don't know. Miss you guys. I'm doing pretty good. I talk a lot about Uber. I was like, why do I talk so much about Uber? Because I'm doing it too much. But one day, you guys, you're going to hear a personalized honk. You're going to hear a honk that's a theme song to a show that, and you're going to go, what is that? Who is that? And it's going to be me. If that's what it takes for me to just get on the road with you guys. I think really good comedy is going to come from that too. You know, you can only do so much from the passenger seat, let alone the backside diagonal from the driver. You know what I mean? It's hard when they text you. It's hard. It's hard when the drivers text you after the ride's over. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It's like I've arrived. Have you arrived? Are you home? Did you make it home okay? Who gets the Uber driver home? That's what I want to know. One time I got into a cab because it was there. You know what I mean? I felt so disgusting. Felt like a whore just getting in that cab. I was like, I'm wasting so much money on convenience. And I told him that. It was just me and him in the car. And I was like, you know, you're robbing me blind. And I shouldn't say that when his life's in my hand. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the only one in the car, and I'm like, this is the worst thing anyone's ever done to me. $25. I was like, this is crazy. I love this city. It is weird. I was out to breakfast, and I saw this woman bashing a ring light into the ground. Bashing a ring light into the ground. No shoes, but this ring light. And I was like, put that in a museum. That's sad. It's scary. It was like a Black Mirror moment where I was like, low-key, I'm like, am I her or is she me? I don't know, like, which one, because I was like, ugh, me too. You know what I mean? Me trying to put together that ring light. And I was like, that's like a lot. You said we're all on trains. One time I met a man on a train. When I was young, man, I would listen. You think I talk to people now? I heard everybody's stories. I went to the Costco in Salt Lake City, Utah, where my sister lives, where my big sister lives. And it's the biggest Costco in the world to fit all the wives. Oh my God, it's true. It's true. Like when you're holding your shopping cart and your sister's like, those are polygamous. It's beautiful to see them in uniform. It was really fascinating anyways. I was like, dude, I was just like so much attention I would get. I feel like that's all I was thinking about. I was like, oh my God, 4 moms, dad who? You know what I mean? I don't even know who, no, but she had to stop me. She had to pull over and be like, if I can't talk to any more people, like we need, like I'm uncomfortable. It's like the people I choose to. I'm like, I love your hat. This is I Heart Florida. Like, you know what I mean? Well, thank you, sweetheart. I was in the Korea War. Like it's like I told my mom. I decided like next time I feel uncomfortable, like a man's following me, I'm gonna start talking about my ingrown toenails, because that usually seems to really get them away. Especially if you get rid of the word nail and you just say toe, ingrown toe. That'll really mess you up. But I was like, Mom, you'd love this podiatrist. He's the best. He's 80 years old. He's talking to me again about the Korea War. No, it was the Vietnam War. And he was like, there's no real hippies anymore. Mind you, I had my shaved head at the time. I used like a long skirt, you know what I mean? I'm asking him about his life, and I'm a young woman, you know what I mean? Like, I'm fucking, he said that to me. And then I told him the internet ruined everyone's life, whatever. But I introduced him to my mom, and after we left, she was like, "What? Like, actually, what's wrong with you?" Like, he was a dinosaur, and I was like, "He's amazing." My toe's like dripping, but he's not saying anything. She's like, "Do you see that? Can he see that?" I'm like, "Mom, he's telling a story about his life." I was like, "Oh my God!" I want to come up here and just tell stories, but I feel like, no, it's fun. It's a good thing to do. Storytelling is so powerful. So I have this thing where sometimes people believe me. Like, I say things and people just believe me. And I don't know what that would be called. It's because I do an excessive amount of prank calling. I do it at any hour of the night. The classic one that I do is I go... and it's usually somebody like I know. It's like my friend's friend or like an ex or something, whatever. And I call them and I'm like, hey, like your clothes are here. Like, it took us a while to get all the stains out, obviously, but I need you to come pick it up now. And that one always kills. One time I called a lady and I said, your dry cleaning's ready. And she goes, I thought it was supposed to be ready Friday. And then I said, no, it's ready right now. And she was like, I'm going to leave. And I was like, okay. It's just like that little rush. That was before vaping, obviously, no. But what do kids do before vaping? I don't know. Sorry, I have to stop. That too. Oh my God. The guy at my 7-Eleven, guys. Let's just clap it up. Let's clap for Mo at my 7-Eleven because I went there the other day and he looked really down. He was like, it's my day off. I was like, I know. That's why I'm dressed like this. Because he has a crush on my cousin, and my cousin is like not into men at all. And I was like, one time I just said to his face, I was like, why? Because we look identical. Is that why you like my cousin? We're third cousins. Dude, I'm a dog owner. I really am. And I walk my dog and I look at all the squirrels and cats that stare at her. And I'm like, y'all are asking for it. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're pacing right in front of my house where I need to walk in. And I'm like, your cat has no collar. It's like, cats, you can't own the neighborhood. I'm sorry. You just can't. Let my pit bull go. Stop it. No, because she should. And it's so annoying. There's this pug in this modern art gecko, whatever the fuck, apartment. One time I was in an Uber and she goes, you know, if you keep driving past your house, I mean, keep driving, you know, for a good few minutes, not your house, not where you live. No, keep driving. It's so nice. And I was like, wow, what a compliment. How sweet. I went to go get my cousin's DoorDash last night, and I opened the door and he was still coming in. My neighbor was outside and she pointed to my apartment like she knew it was for me. I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. After I helped you pick up your mother off the floor, don't do that. Just don't do that to me. You know, she was like, Bushka, Bushka, Bushka. You look beautiful. I was like, well, I didn't look beautiful the other day when you asked me if I had a thyroid problem. Did I look beautiful when your mom wasn't on the ground is all I'm saying. It's been a beautiful night. You guys should come by Wednesday. You never know. You literally never know who's going to be here. Ever. Ever, never, ever. But you do know that we have the Zaffron family here, and that's really special. And it makes me feel good, and I love you guys. And you can find me on Instagram at samliketbh. And hopefully, I don't know where else. You'll find me.
We'll find you.
Sunda Grunquist. And she looks great.
Oh, thank you. Are you going to help me up off the floor when I fall? Oh, my God. How rude to look at you when the delivery comes, right? That's terrible. Oh, my God. You think we give 5 minutes out of you? Nothing out of you? Say hello? Well, then, guys, let me tell you something. If you guys think you're funny, you probably are, but you won't know until you make it from the page to the stage. Please follow me on Sunda Live. You guys have been great. Thank you, Jason, so much for coming out. Really. And Samantha. And looking forward to seeing you guys soon. Good night.